The following is a live sports presentation of Glycod. GLICOD.com.
Glycod's coverage of the 8th Region Basketball Tournament starts now. Presented by Roy's Body Shop.
Welcome to the Roy 8th Region Basketball Championship. Collins and Woodford County. I'm Chris Labar along with Gary Forrest. Coach, these two teams know each other very well.
District rivals. They've played twice this year, with Woodford winning both of them. But that was then, this is now. This is for all the marbles.
Both teams so impressive last night. First for Collins, the way they dispatched Simon Kenton by 10 really wasn't that close of a ball game.
It really wasn't. Led from the beginning and controlled the defensive end, the offensive end. And for a high school game, you won't see many better played.
The mid-range success, the way they moved it, the way they shared it. We haven't seen much of that this season.
No, we've seen a lot of games, Chris, and I haven't seen a team display the patience. And, you know, we talk a lot about kids understanding their roles. They had a great sense of what they were trying to do last night.
And for Woodford County, equally impressive, perhaps even more so, blasting the favorite in this tournament by 20. What stood out as you watched that Woodford win last night?
Well, there's been questions about Woodford all year just because they've had valuable parts of their team hurt, missing games and sort. They really haven't played all together this year. They're very athletic. Nobody doubts that. I've always thought their outside shooting was suspect, but you know, their leading scorer comes out last night in the first quarter and hits 3 out of 4 threes right off the bat, and they're off and running against what many people thought was the favorite, North Oldham.
John McCreer, the way, the impact that he had in the game despite limited minutes, and you would expect him to have a similar role tonight.
I think so. You know, they don't start him, and I understand that. You know, continuity, you've gotten here with other kids starting and stuff, but he's usually in within the first couple of minutes, and he makes his presence felt. He's 6'9". You know, if anything on the defensive board, he makes people change shots, things of that sort.
Such a great opportunity for both these teams. Collins, it's been a bit. They did go to the Sweet 16 and 20. That was right before COVID. Prior to that, it was 2017. And you go back to 86 for Woodford. Oh, my heavens, what this would mean to the Versailles community.
Well, not only that, you know, they've changed regions, and I'm sure they were glad to get out of the Lexington regions. The trade-off is they've got a long drive to get here, but they'll take that. Second year in a row, you know, they're playing in this game.
Collins 26-7. They are the 30th district runner-up. They're coached by Chris Gaither, one of the best tacticians in region number 8. He'll catch up with Gary Forrest when we come back to Newcastle. It's the 60th year this tournament has been at the Roy. So glad you joined us on Glycod.com, and we'll be right back.
Your car's been damaged, regardless of make or model, visit the experts at Roy's Body Shop. Roy's is locally owned and operated with free towing and lifetime warranty on all collision repairs. Plus, they provide deductible savings for every insurance claim. Open weekdays 9 to 5 at 2604 Highway 146 in LaGrange. Give them a call at 502-222-0948 or online at roysbodyshop.com. Roy's Body Shop. Collision repair for the people.
Winter is coming. The Farmer's Almanac is predicting a rough winter with teeth-chattering cold. Don't be caught unprepared. Call Thompson Heating and Cooling today for a special $99 HVAC checkup. Because the last time you want to find out your heat isn't working is when you really need it. At Thompson, we offer a 2-hour appointment window, so you won't be kept waiting all day. We are fully stocked and prepared, and 90% of our calls are repaired that day. And as always, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Call us today for express service.
Broken, outdated electronics harm the environment when disposed with regular trash. That's why Oldham County Solid Waste is sponsoring an electronics collection event on Saturday, April 15th, 2023 from 9 a.m. to noon at Oldham County High School's student parking lot. It's the perfect time to properly dispose of tube and projection-style televisions, computers, smartphones, or other gadgets that you may no longer need. No restrictions on devices. Every bit helps. A message from Oldham County Solid Waste.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more durability, versatility, and #1 rated reliability built in. Like Kubota compact tractors that can do it all right, Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and the Sidekick utility vehicle built for hard work and fun at 40 miles per hour. Kubota equipment lives up to the highest standards. Yours. Visit your local dealer today.
This edition of Coach's Comments is brought to you by Anderson Sales and Service in Crestwood, making your life easier with quality products and quality service.
Coach, quick turnaround from last night.
Yeah, it is. But that's why you do Christmas tournaments. That's why you do back-to-back nights throughout your season. Is you try to build your team for moments like this.
That's why you come over here and play in any sort of event that Henry County has as well, isn't it?
Right, yeah. You want to get used to this gym, this environment, and Henry County's been a phenomenal host of our tournament for a long time, and it speaks volumes to the great people here in this county.
Coach, it's a team that you're quite familiar with. You've played them twice already this year. Not only that, it's a district opponent, so even a little more so. So third time the charm?
You hope so. They're a talented team. They're athletic. They've got a lot of weapons, a lot of firepower, especially in transition. So you hope that our guys, each time they get beat, I hope it checks them in to realize what they have to do to win.
Things that you're going to have to do tonight to be successful.
I think for us, the biggest key is not let them get transition points or offensive rebounds. We did a pretty fair job in the half court defensively against them, but we were watching clips today and they had 11 transition opportunities in the first quarter and 9 layup attempts. And even if they're missing those layups, when they're getting those attempts, eventually they're going to make them go on runs. And so we have to make sure we get back. We can't jog back, and then we have to box out. If we can do that defensively. And then not turn the ball over offensively, I feel like we can get good shots.
What about tempo, Coach?
We want to take advantage of transition. We really do. They don't necessarily get back as well, and so you can get good open shots in transition, but you have to capitalize. You can't. I'm sure back when you coached, it was if you mess a layup in transition, you're probably going to give up a layup. If you turn it over in transition, you're going to give up a layup. And so we have to capitalize on those transition opportunities. And then when we get in the half court, we just have to make sure that guys are screening when they're supposed to be screening and the ball's flowing. But when you're getting pressured, we got to attack the foul line and make good choices. Because last time, late in the game, we had a couple of turnovers that were inerrant with a chance to win it. And so we're just taking care of the basketball and getting shots.
You've heard it from Coach Chris Gaither. Coach, good luck to you.
Range Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street, or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking, insurance, investments, and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
Looking for sound, prudent financial advice? Did you know that one of the brightest and best financial advisors is in your own backyard? Robin Lawson of Financial Solutions Incorporated has a mission to understand your long-term goals and to create a specific strategy just for you. Robin understands the challenges that face most of us today and offers fresh, out-of-the-box thinking that could put you on the road to financial freedom. Contact Robin Lawson today at 502-225-9900. That's 502-225-9900 or visit lawsonfinancial.net.
Welcome to WDRB Home Design here at Watts Home Center. Today we're talking ways to give your home a facelift. Jim, what are some updates and trends for doors this season?
The most popular door of the year so far has been this 3/4 6 light, shown here as a double French door. I've sold this in this configuration, a door with side lights, a single door. People are loving the natural light this year.
In addition to doors, windows are another great way to update your home, right?
Absolutely. There's no better way to increase your home's energy efficiency than new windows. And if you're about to sell your house, nothing looks better on a property listing than new windows.
So can you and your team provide me an estimate to match my particular budget?
Absolutely. With multiple products and vendors, we can work with your budget to get your home the product it needs.
The Watts Home Center team can answer all of your window and door questions. So come on out and see them here in LaGrange or go to wattshomecenter.com to learn more.
You're watching the 8th Region Basketball Tournament from Glycod.
Back in Newcastle, 8th Region Boys title game. You can also check out Male Trinity on Glycod. We've got two doozies tonight. I'm Chris, and along with Gary Forrest. Everybody that plays Woodford, Coach, talks about keys and tempo. That is so important against these Jackets.
Well, it is, and we've seen the last two nights, they really try to score in transition. They want to make you play fast, they want to turn you over, and they want to score easy buckets out of those transitions. So that's what they want, and it's obviously, if you're the Titans from Collins, you want to eliminate those transition buckets. And how do you do that? You keep your turnovers to a minimum.
Handling pressure so important, and it appears that Collins has that formula with Kenyon Gooden, such a stabilizer in the backcourt.
Well, they've got 4 out of their 5 starters could bring the ball up, and we even saw their big man Cochran last night at times bring the ball up as well. So that's how you neutralize it. You find that chink in the armor and you go at it.
What about the mid-range efficiency for Collins? They were so strong last night. If they play up to that level in the half court, do they win this game?
Oh, I think so. I don't think there's a lot of people that beat them because you don't beat yourself. You know, the mid-range shot, Chris, is really something that's going afar with the advent of the three-point shot. You know, when you watch kids warming up, they're either inside the paint or they're outside the arc. With that mid-range shot we saw last night, Collins demonstrated they're still a big part of the game for it.
Well, I think Woodford would say, hey, now, if we play up to the level we played at last night, we're going to win this game.
Very much so. They both did it in different ways last night. And as we talked about the semifinals last night, you had 4 different teams, played 4 different styles, and it was really interesting, the contrast of those.
These two teams so familiar with each other. Of course, the girls' regional decided inside the district between Grant and Simon, so the same scenario unfolds with Woodford and Collins. This will be the 3rd matchup, and a pretty rare occurrence to have it in both genders at the same tournament.
Yeah, very much so. You know, who knows? Interesting enough, though, that neither of the schools competing in the finals, boys or girls, were from the same schools.
Very unusual storyline. It should just be a great matchup tonight. Woodford County, coached by Jaron Brown. Coach very emotional last night when he talked with Don Mueller about what that win meant to their program. And he'll catch up with Gary Forrest more on last night as well as tonight's encounter. We're counting you down to tip off Collins and Woodford. We're back after this on Glycod.
car's been damaged, regardless of make or model, visit the experts at Roy's Body Shop. Roy's is locally owned and operated with free towing and lifetime warranty on all collision repairs. Plus, they provide deductible savings for every insurance claim. Open weekdays 9 to 5 at 2604 Highway 146 in LaGrange. Give them a call at 502-222-0948 or online at roysbodyshop.com. Roy's Body Shop. Collision repair for the people.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Watterson Trail in Louisville.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
Broken, outdated electronics harm the environment when disposed with regular trash. That's why Oldham County Solid Waste is sponsoring an electronics collection event on Saturday, April 15th, 2023 from 9 a.m. to noon at Oldham County High School student parking lot. It's the perfect time to properly dispose of tube and projection style televisions, computers, smartphones, or other gadgets that you may no longer need. No restrictions on devices, every bit helps. A message from Oldham County Solid Waste.
You're watching the 8th Region Basketball Tournament from Glycod.
Twice this year, but throw all those things out this time of year, huh?
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything, man. They're a great team, and the two times that we did win, it went down to the wire, so we're expecting another tough game.
Well, Coach, you've done it two different ways in your two games. One game you came from behind, one game you stayed ahead.
Turn me, no time, anything goes, and I just hope we can pick it back up the last game.
What about last night's game, Coach? Played awfully well against a good team.
We played real well. I think we prepared for them really well. We watched film and studied what they did, and we just played hard, and that helped us come out victorious.
Well, tournament time, it's all about turnaround. Didn't have a lot of chance to change things today. It's things that hopefully you've already covered and such.
Yeah, right. Hardly one time to turn around things. We had a little shoot around, but that's basically just so they get their legs up and down around all day. So.
Things that you're going to have to be successful, keys for your success tonight, Coach.
I think we have to limit their shots on offense, be patient on offense, and play hard defense.
Well, you heard it from the main man, Coach Jared Brown. Coach, as always, thanks a bunch. And have a good one.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking, insurance, investments, and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street, or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're watching the 8th Region Basketball Tournament from Glycod.
Back live at the Roy at Henry County. Let's talk more about this Woodford County shooting percentage, Gary. As a team, 53%. That's very strong at the high school level.
Well, yes, and one of the reasons is, they get a lot of transition buckets, as we mentioned earlier, and usually those are layups or shots within the paint. I'm still a little suspect on their long shots, but obviously the way they've done it's got them here.
Jasper Johnson, one of 4 starters that shoots above 50 from the floor. You've got Johnson and Wade, as well as Nelson and Mackay Smith at 62% from the field.
Well, last night, they showed you why. They were very patient, and they took the shots they wanted. They didn't settle for just jacking the ball up at any time. They were very under control, and, when you do that, you shoot a good percentage.
An undervalued player for them, I think. We talked about this off the air, is Aiden Nelson, and what he does defensively.
Well, I saw that last year. I'm not sure he plays football. If not, they missed out on one. He's a defensive stopper. Every game, he guards the other team's best player, whether it be an outside player or an inside player. And he makes life pretty miserable.
Oh, he plays football all right, as does Mackay Smith, 2 very important parts of Coach Johnson's football team. A great season for the Jackets, but they're trying to get to the Sweet 16, 19-12. And for Collins, Quentin Simmons, a little bit under the radar behind Kenyon Good, but he was key last night also.
Well, I saw him the last 3 regular season games, and he was hurt a little bit when they played North, so they set him out. And at that time, Coach told me, he said, Coach, believe it or not, he's playing probably better than anybody on our team, and we saw that last night. Solid.
Isaiah Cochran averaging 11 points and 5 boards. He was important early last night. What is his role this evening?
Well, once again, he's got the appreciable size to match up against McCree, and they'll need him to try just to neutralize the effect of McCree. And it's not like he hadn't seen big guys. The night before he played a 7'4" guy. Tonight he's going to play a 6'9" guy.
Yeah, John McCreer at 6'9". So you've got Dines last night and McCreer tonight. Yeah. But Cochran, his value a little bit off the beaten path, if you will, outside. He can take it to the goal.
I think so. He is a good medium range shooter. I'm not sure he's a step out 3 consistent, but just enough that you'll have to come out and guard him. And that's how they used him last night very effectively.
Winner will take on J-Town, who defeated DeSales by 1 last night. So the Chargers await the winner. J-Town been to the Sweet 16 now 2 years in a row.
Well, you can imagine they are here tonight. If not, they'll be finding a Glycod copy.
Well, hopefully the latter as we boost our viewership. We appreciate you watching us tonight. Should be a great evening. High school basketball, we're also streaming live from Night Saul. Todd Carter, Rick Reeves, they will have the call for male Trinity. So both these encounters will tip tonight at 7 o'clock. Take another break and welcome you back to Henry County High School right after this on Glycod.
Your car's been damaged, regardless of make or model, visit the experts at Roy's Body Shop. Roy's is locally owned and operated with free towing and lifetime warranty on all collision repairs. Plus, they provide deductible savings for every insurance claim. Open weekdays 9 to 5 at 2604 Highway 146 in LaGrange. Give them a call at 502-222-0948 or online at roysbodyshop.com. Roy's Body Shop. Collision repair for the people.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Watterson Trail in Louisville.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
Broken, outdated electronics harm the environment when disposed with regular trash. That's why Oldham County Solid Waste is sponsoring an electronics collection event on Saturday, April 15th, 2023 from 9 a.m. to noon at Oldham County High School student parking lot. It's the perfect time to properly dispose of tube and projection style televisions, computers, smartphones, or other gadgets that you may no longer need. No restrictions on devices, every bit helps. A message from Oldham County Solid Waste.
You're watching the 8th Region Basketball Tournament from Glycod.
Crowd starting to file in as we welcome you back ahead of Collins and Woodford. 8th Region Boys title game tonight. Now for the starting lineups presented by Crestwood State Farm Insurance agent Leslie Gilly. For the Collins Titans, Kenyon Gooden doing everything well for Collins in multiple sports, averaging 19 points and 7 rebounds. Simmons and Cochran also double-figure scores. Then Isaiah Cochran will be joined by Kia Ledford and 8th grader Cade Gooden. And you get the sense, Gary, he might be sitting on a nice offensive game.
Very much so. You know, he plays a lot older than he is. And that was evident last night. Obviously, he wouldn't be starting for a team like this, but he's well beyond his age.
Here's the Woodford starters, highlighted by Jasper Johnson, all 8th Region performer, 21 per, but you've also got Wade and Makai Smith. And then Leighton Starks, the defensive stopper, also providing value as well.
Well, they all play their roles differently, and you know, it's nice to have that on a team because it makes the opposing team have to figure out individually how to play them.
We saw Santonio Wade make some big plays in the fourth quarter last night. A very nice touch at the free throw line, and a lot of times he's the guy taking, you know, the other defensive player off the bounce.
Very much so. You know, he's a very good defensive player, really quick feet, quick hands, and on offense, they'll spread the floor a lot for him and let him just go one-on-one. They'll work the ball around, and he's quick enough, and there is no in-between for him. You know, he takes it to the rack.
How does Collins choose to defend Jasper Johnson, in your opinion?
Well, I think they'll play some zone, and they'll hedge him, and they'll play off other kids on Woodford's team, depending on who's in the game. You know, but you can't just play him straight up man-to-man. And I think Coach knows that. He'll throw some 1-2-2 zone, and they'll try to trap the ball out of his hands as well. So I think you're going to see a variety of things. Coach Gaither's been here, done that, and you know, the old adage is never let their best player beat you.
And you get the sense that with this Collins program and with Coach Gaither, they're built on defense, and he is a defensive mastermind at the high school level.
Well, what he is, he's old school, you know, and you know, I see so much of things that older coaches did, and they gained it through experience. And he had a good mentor as his high school coach, Todd Johnson, down at Grayson County. And, you know, I think he learned from him. He went to Temple for a year, and you're going to learn defense under John Chaney.
Rest in peace, Coach. Collins and Woodford tip next from Newcastle on Glycod.
Welcome to WDRB Home Design here at Watts Home Center. We're talking paint colors today. Tommy, what are the hottest colors this season?
The hottest colors are gray. Grays are trending. You also have taupes, off-white. Benjamin Moore has over 4,000 colors, so we can find something that you like.
So if I wanted to color match my shirt, you could do it?
I can do it. We take our little color spectrometer here. It will take a picture of your shirt, tells us what color it is. We have true color lighting, so it helps us get the true color to match your color.
Do you have any tips for us to ensure a successful paint job?
The best tip I can give you is use the proper tools. You want to use a good paintbrush, you want to use a good roller. People always grab a roller frame, they just want to roll a wall. Grab a pole, whether it be an expensive good one, inexpensive wood one. It makes the job go so much easier when you're rolling that wall out.
The team at Watts Home Center can answer all your painting questions, so come on out to their location here in LaGrange. I'm Lindsay Cox for WDRB Home Design.
If your car's been damaged, regardless of make or model, visit the experts at Roy's Body Shop. Roy's is locally owned and operated with free towing and lifetime warranty on all collision repairs. Plus, they provide deductible savings for every insurance claim. Open weekdays 9 to 5 at 2604 Highway 146 in LaGrange. Give them a call at 502-222-0948 or online at roysbodyshop.com. Roy's Body Shop. Collision repair for the people.
From Glycod, it's the 8th Region Basketball Tournament, presented by Roy's Body Shop in LaGrange. Collision repair for the people. Tonight's game is also brought to you by Anderson Sales and Service, a top choice for homeowners and lawn professionals. Watts Home Center, design that feels like home. Thompson Heating and Cooling, making people comfortable. LaGrange Service Center, quality car care since 1964. And State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gilley. Now, courtside for all the action of the 8th Region Basketball Tournament on Glycod, presented by Roy's Body Shop.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
You're watching the 8th Region Basketball Tournament from Glycod.
Back live, Henry County High School on the site. The 60th year the Roy has hosted the 8th Region title game. I'm Chris LeVar along with Gary Forrest. Our executive producer tonight is Steve Bird. This series, as we told you, the third meeting this season. Level par, if you will. Tied at 8. However, Woodford winning both matchups this season. The winner gets J-Town next Wednesday to start the boys' Sweet 16. Gary, you've been involved in this game as head coach many, many times. It's got to be a great feeling.
It is. It really goes by fast is the thing, Chris. You know, turnaround time from last night to today, less than 24 hours.
And I would think the preparation maybe dialed back a bit, the focal point on getting rest and working on yourself.
Well, it is, but when you got your regional draws, you started preparing for the team you played first, second, and third all together. You never told your kids that, but you started working on those things.
And it does have to make it a bit easier from a prep standpoint because these guys are so familiar with one another.
Well, in particular, these guys, right. They're in a district with one another. They're relatively close to one another. They probably play summertime ball at maybe some of the outside parks.
There you see the 8th grader, Cade Gooden. What a highlight for him, despite his young age, to start in a title game, as the Titans, the visitors tonight on the scoreboard, as they are the district runner-up despite the better overall record. Chris Gaither in the side of that huddle, the well-respected head coach. And you talked about his relationship with Coach Cheney. I think in that 1 year he's learned lessons to last him a lifetime.
Oh, I would think so. You know, when you practice at 5 a.m. every morning, that in itself, you'd have to be awake, and he made sure of that.
The Woodford starting five. Great to welcome the Versailles audience tonight as Jasper Johnson. Boy, he's some kind of talent.
Yeah, his upside is really huge, you know, finishing out his sophomore year here.
And there's Aiden Nelson, outstanding two-sport athlete. And it's great to see Coach Jaron Brown back, as this team now in back-to-back regional finals, which nowadays with all the parity, it's very difficult. And Coach Brown has led this team back just on the doorstep of the Sweet 16.
Well, as I told him, I said, welcome to the 8th region. You might have to come here more often. And he just smiled.
The officials again out of Region 13. They've had a long week and a half. Same region responsible for the girls' 8th at Gallatin. Now the boys will wrap it up tonight at Henry. So McCreer will get the start. Starks open last night, but McCreer gets the nod for Woodford, and Collins with possession.
Straight man-to-man by Woodford County.
There's Cochran. Kia Ledford at the elbow. And Simmons fighting to the basket, and McCreer, the early Woodford lasso.
Surprising Simmons on the cut. Missed a wide open chipper.
It's Antonio Wade.
Wade will run it most of the time.
Slithers in the lane and lays it in.
There's that high percentage layup already.
How will Woodford defend Kenyon Gooden? That is certainly a compelling storyline tonight.
Well, I think they're going to just play him heads up. You know, interesting. They've got Jasper on him.
Cochran, far wing. He's going to try to take McCreer off the bounce. Nice funnel underneath through Ledford, and an early turnover.
Well, missed layup, early turnover. Very uncharacteristic of Collins, but it's early yet. Collins now man-to-man on the half.
It was a bullet pass. Ledford could not corral it. As Wade with a step.
Once again, spread offense, 1-2-2 set. And they'll let Wade run a lot of it.
And Nelson, the director.
They pick and choose what they want. Prefer to have Jasper Johnson off the ball right now. Right now, Simmons draws the short straw, and he's right up in Johnson. And got a piece.
Here comes Simmons bulldozing up the near sideline for Collins. Gooden fills the lane and cleaned up by Jasper. And Wade will apply the break as the Jackets lead by 2. Johnson, a deep one short. And off the baseline, and Collins ball.
Well, Johnson was deep enough on the 3, but he took the what's in fed now, the step back 3 to make it even more difficult. Barely drew iron.
And Collins up the hill. Now Ledford veering right. And Johnson, I think he baited him for that block.
I think he did. Used his size.
Now Wade slicing left. Johnson inside. And they're going to wave that baby off. Let's take another look as Johnson attacking off the bounce. All set up by Wade underneath.
Excellent defense.
Isaiah Cochran around the horn to Simmons. Johnson will switch on Cochran. And Kenyon Gooden fights for two.
Really tough shot. Officials letting them play, really to no one's benefit. But right now, I like this.
A physical field goal for Gooden. And an even keel start, just 3 minutes plus. And I think Ledford called for a grasp underneath.
Ledford, the defensive specialist. What he lacks in size, he more than makes up in grit. And he's drawn the short straw. He's going to be the guy that starts out on Johnson.
You get the sense he wanted that responsibility.
Well, he prides himself in his defense.
As McCreer, the inbound outlet.
Johnson trying to get the smaller Ledford posted up.
And Johnson skips it up top around the horn.
Great help from the weak side. They know Ledford's got his hands full. And anytime the ball's reversed out of the middle, you'll see double down help on Johnson.
McCreer, foul line. And the stabilizer Wade will veer top of the key, flinging from the elbow.
See, I would let Wade shoot that.
Up to Ledford. Gooden very deep. And I think it's going to trickle off of Gooden, Cade Gooden, and be out of bounds. Yes, Gooden a little slow to get up.
Good when he fell, tried to catch himself with his hand, wringing that wrist and fist as he comes down the floor. A lot of times he hit that elbow funny bone, if you will.
So John McCreer now in. We thought he started. There was a number discrepancy on the jersey. He had 11 last night. Tonight he wears 10. Hits the confusion.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they better make sure in the book. The scorekeeper has a lot to do with that one.
Tied at 2. So Johnson wheeling it to Wade. Boy, is he slippery. And Collins in transition is Gooden. Off. And Ledford digs it out for the Titans. Cochran. And McCreer with the stuff.
McCreer's size. Cochran's got to sell that ball fake. McCreer didn't bite. Thus the advantage was him, and he got the block. Nelson not really a shooter outside, so they'll play Sims off of him right now. Simmons up, but in help area.
Coach Brown, 4 strides out on the floor, being asked to retreat by that far side official. Under 2:30 in the first 8. Here's McCreer. Now Nelson will flaunt one. Oh my.
Yep, that's why you want him to shoot it.
And Gooden with a rebound for the Titans.
But great defense by both teams.
It sure is. Ledford will recirculate things for Collins. Tiptoeing under 2 in the first. Entry. And Cochran cut off.
Cochran get ready to get a 3 call, and there it was. Can't kill your dribble in the paint. And, once again, advantage McCray. Held his ground, didn't take the fake.
Yeah, John McCreer with exemplary defense. A couple of subs come in. Cole Harbin donning number 4 is in for Collins.
Harbin designated shooter. If they play off him now, he'll look to shoot the outside jumper.
Baseline shot off from Jasper. As Gooden setting up a three. And there is Jasper Johnson. 1 against 3. Flip back in play. And Gooden knocks it in. Kenyon Gooden with all 4 of Collins' points as we slide under a minute in this first quarter. Now Johnson with a ball fake. Heaves a 3, followed and put in. Makai Smith.
Smith on the offensive boards. Great job anticipating the miss. Followed up.
See what the Titans do with remnants in this quarter.
Don't look for Collins to get in any hurry.
And Simmons trying to ignite this half-court offense as we dive under 10 in a tied first quarter.
Flare screen.
Gooden pitches one up, well long. Johnson with a rebound, and that will conclude quarter number 1. The defensive slugfest. We're tied at 4. Be back after this on Glycon.
Range Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street, or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
You're watching the 8th Region Basketball Tournament from Glycod.
Back to Henry County High School, deadlocked at 4, Coach.
It's like watching 2 heavyweights punch it out late in the rounds. And here we are just starting the second quarter. The defense has very much prevailed. You know, 2 teams that know a lot about their opponents.
Going to be Woodford possession to start this even keel second quarter.
Collins switching defenders on Johnson.
And a Titan foul underneath appears to be whistled on Isaiah Cochran. Second team Collins foul, and the first on Cochran. Makai Smith for 2.
Smith last night, very shaky at the free throw line late in the game. Starts off tonight 0 for 1.
And the long rebound secured by Simmons.
Something to kind of put in the bank because I think this one's going to the wire.
These 2 teams so very physical. As Darius Evans on the floor now for Collins up top. Now Cochran with a stride, and McCreer might have gotten a piece of that.
Well, he made him change it either way.
That's off the mark. There's Leighton Starks who missed that one. Correction, that was J.J. Jenkins that missed that. Now Jenkins going to start the break as Nelson relays back to Jasper. And Jenkins on the doorstep, but denied.
Jenkins misses a bunny. Johnson did a great job. Dribble penetration, set him up for the dump pass, but Jenkins couldn't finish.
Now Cochran getting McCreer to bounce on that. And
excellent.
Sure was. And the basket goes in for Evans.
Cochran drove, occupied the big man, and he did a great job dumping off to his teammate under the basket.
Collins now by 2. Darius Evans with his first field goal. Jasper Johnson still scoreless here in the early phases of this game. Now McCreer about 15 feet away, and that was a missile long.
15 feet away, missed it by 10.
There's Nelson in attack mode. And a bump and a Quentin Simmons foul will be the third on Collins.
Tell you what, got Nelson and Simmons going against one another. You know, it looks like two middle linebackers.
Gonna have a Woodford County timeout after that foul there you see on Simmons. Will keep things here in what is a Yellow Jacket 30-second timeout. And a strong defensive performance by both teams.
You know, probably nothing we didn't expect. You know, good, solid defense, you know, and both teams hang their hat on that, and they're still probing. You know, they play each other quite a bit, so everything that each other's doing, they probably got it down in the playbooks.
And there's always subtleties, small tweaks between these opponents. After you play one, then you play a second.
It is.
And it will have a different flow tonight as well.
Very much so. The flow usually in the final game slows down. It's almost like they've inhaled a little bit. We're here. But not too much inhaling in this game.
Very low scoring affair. Both these teams average north of 60 on the year. As Wade, the circulator, will find Smith beneath us in a packed Roy.
Great job helping down.
Now Evans in Jasper's business. 0 for 3 from out there, and the rebound secured by Collins Gooden. Simmons trying to set things up. Wound around to Gooden. Back to Simmons. Superior D by Nelson. There's Johnson in transition. Set up though by Aiden Nelson.
It all started on the defensive end. Nelson held his ground against Simmons. Got a little piece of it, and that started the transition break.
Entering the meat of his second quarter. Simmons through contact, and the whistle bloweth, and a Nelson foul.
Chris, that almost was, it took 2 fouls to get 1 called. Man, there was a lot of body checking and bumping.
You're right about that, as the whistle blew on the second collision.
It's almost like they're going to let them play. You get that free first chuck in.
Simmons for 2. 74% foul shooter, as the Titans will sub out Darius Evans as you see him taking a seat.
Full court 2-2-1 by the Titans.
Collins 2 for 2 from the foul line. The Jackets 0 of 2. As Johnson on the far sideline in front of the Collins bench.
Nelson out front with the ball. Last time he shot it, it wasn't pretty. I really don't think he'll shoot the ball from out there much anymore.
Kai Smith
running a little baseline shuffle cut.
As Wade cut off. Ledford just moves so well laterally.
He does a great job, and he keeps him out of the lane.
Plucked away. That was Simmons that got a hand on it. Now Smith blocked. And Kenyon Gooden in the vicinity. It will be his first foul, and Collins' fourth.
Tell you what, we had a good look at it up here, Chris, and I thought it was maybe pretty clean. And apparently the Collins fans over in that area think the same thing.
Yeah, it sure looked like he had a lot of ball.
Now, Smith last night didn't shoot free throws well.
He's 0 of 2 thus far this evening.
He stops his follow through. Now he's kind of shaking his head. So, right now we're looking at 0 of 7.
You like him at the line after the missing, or should he take a pace and come back?
I think you always keep your feet still. Follow through with your hands. And he doesn't have good mechanics finishing his shot.
Didn't know if he might need a breath to walk away from the line in between shots. He's 0 of 4, and Collins by 2. Nice curl, and Gooden puts it in.
Well, he's got the little flip shot, even with the big man in there. And he just does things so effortlessly.
Kenyon Gooden with 6. Largest lead of the game by either team, believe it or not, at 4. As Johnson,
Johnson.
And on the sideline as Antonio Wade could not hang on.
Thought he got away with steps out front, Chris, and no call. So only the third turnover for the Jackets.
I was thinking he might have been bumped as well.
Well said. They got that first free check in.
There's Cochran. Back to Kenyon Gooden. Woodford with 2 points thus far in this second quarter.
Well, it's not like the Titans are running away with it, though, is the key.
Simmons has that ball trickle off of McCreer, and then he's up in it.
There's I made a turnover. I'll hustle real hard to get it back, and I'll make a foul.
McCreer's impact is generally felt on the defensive end. Another example right here.
Yeah, very much so. They're always cognizant of where he's at. Offensively, let's just say he's not a polished player yet.
Coach Prom thinks highly of him, the Murray State head coach, as Johnson trying to get off the schneid. Nelson! And a great pass from Makai Smith.
Well, that's what Nelson's good at. So first time score a bucket. We see a 2-1-2 press by the Jackets.
Don't see that a lot, do you?
No, we don't. I think it's more to create up-tempo.
Harbin,
the designated 3-shooter, misses, but they get it back.
Yeah, Cochran up and in after Wade falls down. Johnson way out. And there's McCreer. And he'll strut the stripe for 2 as Cade Gooden, I believe, will be called. No, it's Cochran, his second foul.
See, I thought that call was a little late, Chris. It's almost like the official watched the flight of the ball, then McCreer fell. A couple of seconds, it seemed like, after he released the ball.
So Cochran with his second, team 6th.
Something to watch. Fortunately for the Titans, 1:35 left here in the second quarter. So we'll keep an eye on it. Currently a 4-point lead for Collins.
No free throws either.
Well, I think they call it after the shot.
Nelson. Now Wade wants a little circulation.
Well, Wade biding time. They've done a great job keeping him out of the lane in penetration.
Johnson lost that handle and a held ball, the arrow in favor of the Titans. Jasper struggling a little bit to get going offensively.
Well, he's attempted a couple of outside shots, but Shelby's defense on him, they keep constantly changing defenders, has been really solid.
There's Evans that just reinserted into the Collins quintet. Crafty dribbling there by Ledford. Swiped away. Nelson's just all over the floor on defense.
Spacing wasn't good by Collins then.
There's Wade and a bump on Evans. That'll put the Jackets at the line for 1-1. 7th team foul. And will be Santonio Wade. We saw this last night a lot with Woodford. They'll have their shooter at the line and then the other 4 back on defense.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a confidence thing or what, but unfortunately with some of the shooters they have that have gone to the line, they're going to be an opportunity for getting a missed free throw.
Well, Isaiah Cochran is checked back in with those 2 early fouls.
Interesting.
As the Jackets now 1 of 5 from the free throw line. And that'll make it a 2-point Collins lead.
Fortunate, I thought they had a turnover there. It looked like a double dribble. 10 seconds to go in the quarter.
Simmons attacking under 8. Now Harbin. Great denial at 3. Kenyon Gooden, a forced 3. Great defense by Makai Smith. And who would have thought we'd have 22 total points in the first half? But Collins by a bucket. 12-10. We'll be right back. This is Glycod.com.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Watterson Trail in Louisville.
If your car's been damaged, regardless of make or model, visit the experts at Roy's Body Shop. Roy's is locally owned and operated with free towing and lifetime warranty on all collision repairs. Plus, they provide deductible savings for every insurance claim. Open weekdays 9 to 5 at 2604 Highway 146 in LaGrange. Give them a call at 502-222-0948 or online at roysbodyshop.com. Roy's Body Shop. Collision repair for the people. Glycod on YouTube is Kentuckiana's fastest growing high school sports video site. When you click to subscribe, don't forget to tap the bell and be notified of our upcoming live broadcasts and other unique video content. Subscribe for free now at youtube.com/Glycod.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking, insurance, investments, and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street, or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by LaGrange Service Center, a family-owned car repair shop that also offers 24/7 towing and roadside assistance. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street, celebrating their 58th year in business.
A tight one at the Roy, as we would have predicted. However, we would think, Gary, that more than 22 total points would be scored in the first half.
Well, you would think so, but, it has all the emphasis of two really good defensive teams. They know each other well. They just played last night. The shooting percentages aren't good, but I think, once again, that's because of defense. And quite frankly, the officials are letting them play. They're not calling tick-tacky fouls, so, that benefits the defense.
Kenyon Gooden leading all scorers with 6 points, and for Woodford, Jasper Johnson only with 1 field goal, and everything has been hard-earned.
It really has. Can't say enough about Collins' defense. They've constantly changed defenders on him, giving him different looks, some cases playing a man and a half to help. And I know a lot of people like the scoring and stuff. I just think it's great basketball. It's a different way to play.
Free throw shooting, Collins 2 of 2, and Woodford County 2 of 6. They've got 4 misses from Mekhi Smith. And you mentioned this earlier. You really think this one's going down to the bitter end?
I really do. It would not surprise me. 4-point might be the biggest margin of the night. And they're just built that way. And one of the things that Collins has done is they've stopped transition baskets. Woodford got one early on a block shot, run out, score. But other than that, and that's a big part of Woodford's offense, is turning you over, getting the quick 2-on-1, 3-on-2 buckets. And Collins has eliminated that.
Let's revisit the keys to the game. We talked on the front end of the show about Collins handling the pressure. How do you think they fared on that end?
Well, I think they've done a pretty good job, but the second part of handling that pressure is you can beat the pressure, but then you've got a 6'9" guy in there to help slow things down a little bit, and Woodford has taken advantage of that. Up-tempo, transition game, we said, was a key for Woodford. Only 2 points scored out of their transition. And must shoot well, and they really haven't shot well. So, we hit on the keys for Woodford. The keys for Collins, establish the tempo. Well, that's kind of a push. I think both teams have got handle the pressure. I think they've done a pretty good job handling it. And don't beat yourself. And so far, Collins hasn't done that. Both teams, Woodford with 4 turnovers for the half, Collins only 3.
Isaiah Cochran, really the only player of substance in this game with any semblance of foul trouble. He's got 2 fouls. Perhaps that's a storyline. But this has been a clean sheet, if you will, in the first half.
It really has. It's not sloppy basketball by any means. They're still, usually the first couple of minutes of the game, you probe one another. You look for some surprises. And they're still probing. There are no surprises.
Let's take a quick peek at this, or quick listen to this Male Trinity. It's tied 31-31 at half. How do you see that game unfolding?
Wow, we were talking about that, before the game tonight. Haven't seen Male right at the end of the season. They're playing well. Any team that can go up to Indiana and beat a team like Cathedral on their home floor late in the season, and Male did just that. And Male does it in a unique way. They're usually 3 guards, 2 forwards, don't have a dominant big person, or in some cases 4 guards, 1 forward. So it's kind of interesting. And Trinity under Coach Mike Sabo, one thing, they're always solid fundamentally and defensively.
Rocks now got an update, 6:24 in the third. Trinity leads 35-31. The bottom of the screen has all the current scores. We do have an update from Hoptown. That game late starting due to a rim repair, so I don't know what exactly led to that, but that game yet to start. Also Owensboro and Owensboro Catholic. That will tip at 8 o'clock Eastern. Halftime here at the Roy. Collins by a basket. Second half when we come back on Glycon.
Looking for sound, prudent financial advice? Did you know that one of the brightest and best financial advisors is in your own backyard? Robin Lawson of Financial Solutions Incorporated has a mission to understand your long-term goals and to create a specific strategy just for you. Robin understands the challenges that face most of us today and offers fresh, out-of-the-box thinking that can put you on the road to financial freedom. Contact Robin Lawson today at 502-225-9900. That's 502-225-9900 or visit lawsonfinancial.net.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
Welcome to WDRB Home Design here at Watts Home Center. Today we're talking ways to give your home a facelift. Jim, what are some updates and trends for doors this season?
The most popular door of the year so far has been this 3/4 6 light shown here as a double French door. I've sold this in this configuration, a door with side lights, a single door. People are loving the natural light this year.
In addition to doors, windows are another great way to update your home, right?
Absolutely. There's no better way to increase your home's energy efficiency than new windows. And if you're about to sell your house, nothing looks better on a property listing than new windows.
So can you and your team provide me an estimate to match my particular budget?
Absolutely. With multiple products and vendors, we can work with your budget to get your home the product it needs.
The Watts Home Center team can answer all of your window and door questions. So come on out and see them here in LaGrange or go to wattshomecenter.com to learn more.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
If your car's been damaged, regardless of make or model, visit the experts at Roy's Body Shop. Roy's is locally owned and operated with free towing and lifetime warranty on all collision repairs. Plus, they provide deductible savings for every insurance claim. Open weekdays 9 to 5 at 2604 Highway 146 in LaGrange. Give them a call at 502-222-0948 or online at roysbodyshop.com. Roy's Body Shop. Collision repair for the people.
You're watching the 8th Region Basketball Tournament from Glycod.
Welcome back inside the Roy, the 60th year that the 8th Region Boys Basketball Tournament has been held at this great high school facility. And it's seen a very competitive first half between two defensive heavyweights. Collins by a basket.
Well, I know one thing, Chris. I sit here and watch the team shoot when they came back out. And I watched Jasper Johnson from the left-hand corner about 27 feet out make 6 out of 7 threes. So if he shoots it like he warmed up, we'll see.
Well, he'll be heard from before this one's over. As Wade to handle for Woodford.
Well, Ledford draws the short straw, and he'll guard Jasper Johnson. So constantly changing.
Talked about that in the first half. His defensive prowess as Johnson spins. And maybe that'll get him going.
Well, Johnson, once again, used his size over Ledford and got him in the paint.
Johnson now with 4. As Collins in attack mode and a tie tilt.
First half relatively quick, played in 31 minutes.
Gooden with an arm on Nelson and a play on as Jasper gets the rebound. And a foul coming up the floor, and that's number 3 on Cochran.
See, there's where I have a problem. You know, on the shot, you've got multiple contact, yet on the drive down the floor, kind of a small bump, and you call that foul. Be consistent. That's a big third foul this early on Cochran.
And there's not much that separates these teams either. As Wade, orchestrate right wing. Johnson again.
Oh, there. Like I said, it might have been a sign of the times, him warming up.
First 5 of the half belong to Jasper Johnson, and Woodford now by 3. Cochran flinging a 3.
I don't like that shot for Cochran.
And there come the Jackets. That's going to be off. And belong to Collins. Bank shot a little bit long in transition from Cade Gooden. Outlet pass. And Makai Smith will grasp it. And Nelson just not part of his offense.
Nope. But the good thing is he understands that. Don't try to do something or be something that you aren't.
That is part of his offense as he veers in. And Wade, very slippery, freeing up Makai Smith. The first 7 of this half belong to Woodford. Ledford.
Once again, non-shooters taking shots.
Leighton Starks with a rebound for Woodford County. And Wade tees one up. And Collins needs time. Santonio Wade punctuating a 10-zip run to start the second half. And we're back after this on Glycod.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking, insurance, investments, and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
You're watching the 8th Region Basketball Tournament from Glycod.
Woodford County on a 10-zip run to start the second half, now lead by a game-high 8.
Well, Chris, in this first 3 minutes of the third quarter, Woodford has equaled all the points they scored in the first half. So they've come out on a run, and Collins, maybe a couple of ill-advised shots we haven't seen out of them in this tournament. And when I say that, it's just sometimes wrong people shooting the wrong shot at the wrong time.
So not only has Woodford scored 10 in a row, but Collins' big man Isaiah Cochran has also picked up a third foul to start this second half. A critical juncture for the Titans.
Well,
they try to fight their way back. Now Gooden on the bounce. Cole Harbin is in for the Titans.
See, that's a foul, I think, out front. And
Simmons, nice move through contact. And the rebound lassoed by Nelson.
2 body bumps there. You know, maybe you get away with 1, but if you get away with 2, long shot by Johnson.
Here's Gooden, a strong drive, and it rattled out, but the putback goes.
Great tip in.
Kenyon Gooden now with 8 of the Titans' 14. Now Wade, elbow flaunt. Santonio Wade with 5 big points.
Well, Wade taking the pressure off his offensive team, you know, with Johnson not hitting and now starting to warm up. Both he and Wade are helping this run here in the third quarter for Woodford.
Yeah, Wade 5 points in this half. And the lead back to 8. Cochran flings one.
See, once again, I'm not sure Cochran is a good percentage shooter out there.
He's unleashed 2 from that corner.
Yes, he has.
And to your point, that may be Woodford's goal, perhaps. Get Collins playing a little quicker.
Yep, well, we talked about transition, and they've got them in a little more up-tempo, and they're scoring off transition baskets.
John McCreer stationed there. You see him at the scores table. He's going to come in at the next whistle for Woodford. Smith finds Wade up top. There's Wade, a strong bounce, and nice recovery by Quentin Simmons to poke it out of play. McCreer back in. Welcome sight for Woodford. Lob pass, McCreer on the doorstep. Oh my, and then they're going to get him late. That's a great inbound pass. McCreer just could not connect.
Yep. Short-armed it, from about 2 feet. As we mentioned, he's still very, very unpolished as an offensive player.
And Collins trying to dig their way back into this 8-point deficit, once led by 4 in the first half. Simmons working against Makai Smith. Poked out of there. There's McCreer. Initiating the break as Smith drives and puts it home.
Scoring off transition.
Makai Smith with 6. Credit McCreer with jump starting that fast break. Elbow Jay Gooden. Nope.
1 and out.
And Woodford trying to seize control.
Right now, everything Woodford here in this third quarter.
Nelson drawing a lot of attention up top, and there is an astute timeout by Aiden Nelson and the Woodford coaching contingent. We'll step aside, and we're back in 30 on Glycod.
Winter is coming. The Farmer's Almanac is predicting a rough winter with teeth-chattering cold. Don't be caught unprepared. Call Thompson Heating and Cooling today for a special $99 HVAC checkup. Because the last time you want to find out your heat isn't working is when you really need it. At Thompson, we offer a 2-hour appointment window, so you won't be kept waiting all day. We are fully stocked and prepared, and 90% of our calls are repaired that day. And as always, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Call us today for express service.
You're watching the 8th Region Basketball Tournament from Glycod.
Chris LeBar and former Oldham County Boys head coach Gary Forrest back live in Newcastle. Woodford down 2 at the turn, now plus 10 with possession.
Well, Woodford has kind of turned the screws up a little bit defensively, and as a result, they've gotten some transition baskets, stuck a couple jumpers in, and they've stretched this thing out.
Johnson just inside a half court. Here's Wade, little flip in the lane, well executed.
Chris, they're not stalling, but they're doing a great job of spreading the floor and controlling the shots they want.
Antonio Wade with 10 points, right on his average. And the Titans, a laborious half thus far for them. Only 2 points in the third quarter.
Not a good time to hit that dry streak.
Here's Gooden initiating, and will that call stand? Will that basket count?
See, I think the ball's coming down.
Second jacket foul as we take another look.
See how the officials call. We should have a pretty good angle on that.
That's debatable right there.
Well, there's an old adage, when in doubt, don't.
Harbin will inbound.
Wow.
Collins turnover.
5-second call on the inbounds underneath their basket. Nothing going right now for the Titans.
Harbin will check out. Also, Cade Gooden will shuttle off. Darius Evans and Kia Ledford back in. As the Titans trailing by 12, under a minute in this third.
2-2-1 press by the Titans. The problem is they're pressing after made baskets, and they're not making any baskets.
And Nelson just makes good decision after good decision up top.
Yeah, he's really not a point guard. But what he is he's smart with the ball.
So valuable to this team.
Right, he guards the other team's best player, yeah.
And poked away, all that length by Simmons, able to blast it away from Wade.
First turnover of the half for the Jackets.
Cochran sealed off, back to Gooden. And he's going to have to will him in the fourth quarter, you get the sense.
Well, but it just can't be Gooden. You know, Cochran's got to be able to produce some points in the paint.
Gooden working on Jasper Johnson, under 10. Cochran slithers with the left and an and one.
There we go, and that's his game. You know, that three-point jump shot, maybe at another time, but in this game, I think he's got to attack inside. And he just proved he can do it.
And with the offhand as well.
Yep.
Foul on McCreer, his second. As Cochran now with 5. It's a single-digit game late in the third and fumbled out of bounds off of Johnson.
Well, Johnson a little out of control. You know, I know not much time on the clock. He's trying to take it to the rack.
And that's going to wrap up quarter number 3. Woodford outscoring the Titans by 11 in the third, and they lead by 9 on Glycod.com.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Waterson Trail in Louisville. You're watching the 8th Region Basketball Tournament from Glycod.
Welcome back to Newcastle on Glycod.com. Chris LeBar along with Gary Forrest. And Woodford County by 9. Collins will have possession to start the fourth. Entry to Cochran, this time spins to his left, and McCreer will then fumble it away. As Simmons, oh my, everything but the basket. And a held ball. Arrow, Woodford County. Simmons right on the doorstep.
Yep. You know, those same shots last night, without a doubt, went in. Tonight, they're not getting that friendly roll.
Yellow Jackets trying to get to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1986. And they've got the group to do it. Winner will take on J-Town in the opening game of the Sweet 16 next Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. There's Johnson sashing across to Santonio Wade. And coughed up, and there is Simmons ripping it away. And he's missed 2 from the doorstep.
Again, not able to finish. Transition bucket.
And poked out off of Kenyon Gooden as both teams missing down tight. As the Jackets down 2 at half. Now leading by 9. Jasper Johnson with 5 points to start the second half, and that jump started the Woodford rally.
Really, only 5 points for Collins this second half, starting into the fourth.
See how Woodford does in the half-court setting. And a Titan foul. That will be their second team foul of this half.
Well, as we mentioned, the first 2 games, the first game, Woodford had to play from behind, and they obviously did well. They're playing. The second game, they had a big lead and had to hold on. So now they were behind, they've caught up, they've got a bigger lead. So let's see if they can finish it out that way. For Collins, this forces them to play a little faster.
Yeah, the Jackets were down double figures in the second half against Owen.
Double figures starting the fourth quarter.
As Nelson around the horn. Now Wade nimble. And a hard drive as Jasper Johnson is fouled underneath. And that will be on Kenyon Gooden. Third team foul. And the third foul on Gooden as well. So for the Titans, Gooden and Cochran, their 2 primary scorers, each with 3. As Johnson nudges it up to 10. Male Trinity nip and tuck as that game enters the fourth quarter on Glycod. Todd Carter, Rick Reams live from Knights Hall as the Bulldogs trying to get back to the Sweet 16 for consecutive seasons. And Cochran digs out the rebound. And Gary, the Titan comeback has to start now.
It really does. They're going to have to get points per possession. And right now, only 7 for a quarter and a half.
Gooden goes to work, and that shot partially blocked on the weak side by Johnson. And Makai Smith and Cade Gooden get tangled up. Arrow in favor of Collins. And we're going to have a full Collins timeout. There you see the immediacy of Chris Gaither and crew as they'll stop play. 5:36 left, and we'll step aside on Glycod.com.
Range Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street, or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
You're watching the 8th Region Basketball Tournament from Glycod.
Back live on Glycod.com, Woodford County by 10, as the Collins Titans call their second timeout tonight. And what is the discussion like in their huddle? Because certainly the urgency is there.
Well, I think if you're Collins, you're talking about, guys, don't forget defense because, we've got to be able to stop them. And offensively, we have to be able to score to get into our defenses. And that's been one of the problems. You can't get into any sort of press defense. You haven't scored.
Harbin just not been his night as he's 0 for 3 out there.
No, he's a designated shooter, and it hasn't gone down for him tonight.
As the Jackets try to create a little more breathing room, and the 4th Collins foul.
Well, you want to be really careful who you foul, and I think there's some players to foul if you're Collins, but when they get into the bonus, we're going to find out. I'll tell you another thing that Woodford does. They do a very good job of spacing the floor. So that keeps from drawing a defender into another, because Collins is going to try to double. They keep their head up. Their little point guard handles it 80% of the time.
It's Antonio Wade.
So here comes the double. Once again, back out. Spacing's very good. I don't think you want to foul Wade. We saw the other night shoots it well.
Johnson underneath.
See, and there's the breakdown. And they took about 40 seconds off the clock in that possession.
Johnson with 9 points in the game, but 7 in this half. And Woodford County now by a dozen. Is Gooden on a step back, Jay. Nelson cleans it up.
Got to go inside some.
It's been a superior second half by the Jackets.
Once again, they'll reset with the ball out front.
Now Johnson maneuvering baseline. That was a shove, no call on Cochran, and it's trickled out of bounds.
They're kind of consistent. I don't really mind the shove on something like that, but, there's been a lot of contact on shots. And if you bump a person on a shot, you have to call it because that affects the score.
Johnson to trickle it in.
Boy, nice move by Nelson.
And Cochran picks up his 4th foul. Collins' 15th foul. This time the overzealous play did catch the eyes of the officials.
Nelson with a great back cut. Only thing Collins could do is foul him to stop him getting the layup.
Johnson will inbound and find Mekhi Smith. Wade just so slick. And another Titan foul.
Well, Wade is the point guard with an understanding. He understands when to go, when to circle it back out. So he drove into the paint with a purpose. He drew the defense and made a nice little dump pass down on the block.
Leighton Starks for 2, 6th-team foul. And Starks with his first point.
So they're rolling the dice in their fouls, and right now they're coming up blank.
Collins' 30-second timeout. And we will take a quick pause. Woodford County by 13 with another free throw when we come back on Glycon.
Your car's been damaged, regardless of make or model, visit the experts at Roy's Body Shop. Roy's is locally owned and operated with free towing and lifetime warranty on all collision repairs. Plus, they provide deductible savings for every insurance claim. Open weekdays 9 to 5 at 2604 Highway 146 in LaGrange. Give them a call at 502-222-0948 or online at roysbodyshop.com. Roy's Body Shop. Collision repair for the people.
You're watching the 8th Region Basketball Tournament from Glycod.
Woodford County by 13 with 3:58 left. Got an update. Mail now leading by 2 over Trinity. There is just over a minute left. That game also airing on Glycod. So one more Woodford free throw. Jackets outscore Collins 16-5 in the third quarter. They now lead by 13 after trailing by 2 at half. And Starks in for 2.
They're making their free throws. I like it. They brought it up defensively.
Too much length as Johnson just swallowed Simmons. There goes Jasper.
This thing can maybe get out of hand a little bit now. Two different Woodford teams, Chris, first half, second half.
All starts with a defense by Jasper at one end.
Well, we talk about the transition. Not only that, then you go down and score off that same opportunity.
Really enjoyed his conversation last night with Don Mueller, and he's such a polite young man and a quiet young man, but on the floor he's a killer. And a 16-point Woodford lead.
You know, in our last 3 games in here, have kind of been this way. You know, that stretched out at the end.
Collins with 5 points in the second half as Cochran through contact, and Starks will be called. And we've seen this a little bit from Collins this year, the up and down offensively, and as good as they are on defense, their offense can struggle at times.
Well, just like the other night, we talked about everything they shot went in. Tonight, it's sort of the opposite. They can't get good looks.
Still 3:31 to play, but certainly up against it as Isaiah Cochran with 2 free throws. Tia Ledford in for the Titans. Cochran now in half dozen as Cole Harbin back in for Collins, and he'll be out there to try to make a couple threes to bring Collins back. Makai Smith, length of the floor for 2. And Johnson, the length of the floor with a pass.
Well, he comes from a football family, and that looked like a quarterback arm there, didn't it?
Off the mark, and this one moving, and a positive flare for Woodford as we near the 3-minute mark. And Starks bulldozing his way for the foul.
One of the few errors, if you will, in this second half by Woodford. Starks would have been better served just kicking it back out. You'll get the same shot or free throws within the next 30 seconds.
And this Woodford team entered this season with such high expectations. The injury to McCreer, I think, put them back a little bit. The football success put them back a little bit, but boy, here they are again. Now on their way perhaps to Rupp at long 3 off from Simmons. And the Jackets, a dominant performance in this second half. Trinity Mail going to overtime at 51. With 2:30 to play here.
See, there's a body check twice out front. I mean, it works both ways, but they're letting them get a check on a man.
And as a head coach and as a player, you just want consistency, correct?
Very much so. And
they've got a hard job to do, no doubt. But
very much so.
Simmons fouls out, and that will likely wrap up his high school career. Outstanding performance last night in the win, and a great 4-year career for Quentin Simmons. And Santonio Wade.
I tell you what, sort of the unsung hero, Chris. You know, he's shot a great percentage, taken shots when he should have, pulled it out when he should have, hasn't turned it over, made free throws. It's what you want your point guard to do.
You saw that great pass earlier in the lane to set up a field goal, and Woodford now game high 19-point lead. They've won the second half by 21 points. And Wade couldn't hang on. Ledford tacks it in.
Well, it's been a while.
And Collins timeout. Chris Gaither racing to the official to stop play. That'll be a 30-second halt. Coming up, we'll have the most outstanding player at the conclusion of this game. A representative from both teams will be selected. No on-set interviews tonight, as the winning coach and players will be sniping down the nets. And that's got to be a great feeling, Gary. You've done it. How many times did you do it? 5?
5 times.
Yeah. Remarkable. For Coach Brown, this would certainly be his first historic career. Everybody knows about his success at Pitt, playing in 3 Sweet 16s, and outstanding high school career at Bryan Station, but it's different as a head coach.
It is, and you know, if I can tell him one thing, enjoy it, because it becomes a whirlwind. Now, the way it's set up nowadays, he's got the long break in between. They'll have a little chance to savor, then prepare.
Good word, savor, as Wade sneaks up the far sideline.
Well, if you're Collins, you're twixt in between. You know, do you foul? You just want to get it over with? I mean, you have mixed emotions right now. And there's that first check.
And the foul is called. 8th team foul. Titans will wrap up a fabulous season, 26-8. But 3 losses to this Woodford County team. But year in and year out, Collins, the constant in this region, such a successful and consistent program.
Well, they had one other game like this year, and they lost to an Anderson team that was an average team, but on that night, Anderson had enough to win, and obviously Collins did, and everybody in the region was scratching their head. That just shows they're human, they're kids.
Well, and a lot of similarities between both these teams because they're relying on a lot of football players. So yep. Collins as well, always a late start.
Well, when I coached at Somerset, we always had great football programs that had a lot of multi-sport kids, and we used to tell people, better get us in December, we'll be better as the year goes on. And I think we can say that for both of these two teams.
Nelson funnels it to Jasper Johnson.
Now your key is don't get kids hurt.
And a foul as Nico Ballard, a freshman, is out there. And for Coach Gaither, this will wrap up a great season for his program and for himself personally. And for Coach Brown at the other end, a chance to coach in the Sweet 16 for the first time.
Tell you what, and it hasn't hurt them that in this second half, the free throw shooters that make free throws have gotten to the line, you know, and that disguises a lot of things.
Doubling up the Titans. Gary, we talked about it about this time last year when North Oldham was putting Woodford away, and you and I both made the comment, would that fuel them for this season? Was that the medicine they needed to take the next step?
Well, I think they had a short memory, and but when it came time for the tournament time, they remembered, as Nelson told us in the interview here a few nights ago, they really look forward to playing North Oldham again.
Isaac, zoom out, please. Let's get the bench. Thank you. Not that much. Let's get the Woodford bench. Congratulations to the Yellow Jackets and all the folks in Versailles. It's Nolan Asher, a sophomore. These kids will remember this the rest of their lives. With just over a minute left.
Well, now this last minute may take forever.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Because everybody's going to try to get in the book.
I love it. Carson Probst with a field goal, sophomore. And let's hope Collins can do the same. It's James Busby with it. And Ballard. Busby will send it over for a three, and that's going to spin out from Kobe Ledford. And a Woodford timeout as Coach Brown. Play's going to continue. I think Coach just wanted to get one more sub in.
Yep.
Well done.
Yeah, the sub who made the basket, he has to get subbed out before we can get the rest of the bench in.
So everybody, I believe for both teams that dressed, will play tonight.
Very much.
And Woodford's going to move to the Sweet 16. Some of the folks beneath us, as you see, getting an early start. Ballard, those bright green sneaks, little clever flip. And Woodford wants a couple more as Asher Snowbirds. And he's out on that baseline. Collins going to dribble it out. And Woodford County moving on to the Sweet 16. Woodford 44, Collins 21. Jackets to the state tournament for the first time since 1986. And we'll be back after this on Glycon.
Winter is coming. The Farmer's Almanac is predicting a rough winter with teeth-chattering cold. Don't be caught unprepared. Call Thompson Heating and Cooling today for a special $99 HVAC checkup. Because the last time you want to find out your heat isn't working is when you really need it. At Thompson, we offer a 2-hour appointment window, so you won't be kept waiting all day. We are fully stocked and prepared, and 90% of our calls are repaired that day. And as always, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Call us today for express service.
Broken, outdated electronics harm the environment when disposed with regular trash. That's why Oldham County Solid Waste is sponsoring an electronics collection event on Saturday, April 15th, 2023 from 9 a.m. to noon at Oldham County High School's student parking lot. It's the perfect time to properly dispose of tube and projection style televisions, computers, smartphones, or other gadgets that you may no longer need. No restrictions on devices, every bit helps. A message from Oldham County Solid Waste.
Looking for sound, prudent financial advice? Did you know that one of the brightest and best financial advisors is in your own backyard? Robin Lawson of Financial Solutions Incorporated has a mission to understand your long-term goals and to create a specific strategy just for you. Robin understands the challenges that face most of us today and offers fresh, out-of-the-box thinking that can put you on the road to financial freedom. Contact Robin Lawson today at 502-225-9900. That's 502-225-9900 or visit lawsonfinancial.net.
Welcome to WDRB Home Design here at Watts Home Center. Today we're talking lighting, specifically outdoor lighting with Maddie. What are some of the obstacles your clients face with outdoor lighting?
Well, anybody can really come in here and just pick out a fixture for the way that it looks. However, the real obstacle comes in knowing how many to use, where the placement needs to be, and what type of fixture to use to really bring emphasis to those focal points outside their home.
And the Watts team can help with this?
Yes, of course. We actually have designers like myself and electricians on hand here, so we can really help our customer from the start to finish of the whole design and installation process.
Tell us about the range of light fixtures that you have here.
Yeah, so here at Watts Home Center we carry various interior decorative fixtures, exterior fixtures, landscape fixtures, and commercial luminaires. We've really been able to help our customer find any type of fixture they're looking for.
And that's WDRB Home Design here at Watts Home Center.
Tonight's post-game recap is brought to you by Watts Home Center. Whether it's building, restoring, or improving your home, visit the experts at Watts, 2350 Commerce Parkway in LaGrange. Watts Home Center, design that feels like home.
Woodford County 44, Collins 21. Back live at Henry County High School, and the celebration continuing to our right. Isaac, if we can pan over to the right, please, thank you, sir, as Woodford County about to snipe some nets. Got to be a great feeling, Gary.
It is, and you're living in the moment if you're those kids.
Got plenty of scores that we have just updated the ticker on. We will add those now as you take a look. Warren Central, by the way, wins in overtime by 2, surviving a huge comeback from Bowling Green. And several other finals coming in as well. And for this game, Gary, Collins, 9 total points in the second half.
Very much so. And, up 2 at halftime. Talk about going from the mountaintop to the valley. Just could not make shots the second half. Quick look at the stats. Those shots that dropped the other night, tonight didn't. Second half, only 5 of 20. For Collins, and that was the team the other night that shot 60%.
One of the keys we talked about was transition. How was Woodford able to quicken the pace in the second half?
Well, just the way that things played, they did a good job on the boards, and you had I thought maybe some ill-advised shots by people from the wrong spots, and we talked about that during the game, and that's when the runs begin. They don't look big at that moment, but for teams that were hard-scratched to get points, all it took was 3 maybe ill-advised shots in a short period of time, and that's a 6-point swing and a 6-point that you didn't get.
Tabulating some individual numbers. They're actually announcing the all-tournament team, but tabulating some individual numbers. Johnson, 3 points in the first half. Then he gets the quick 5 points to start the second half, and that really got Woodford going.
Yeah, between him and Wade, they came out and they hit 6 out of their first 8 shots. And they were down 10. He only had 10 points. They were down 2 at halftime. And, quite frankly, that was all it took.
Unofficially got Jasper 13 and Santonio Wade with 12. And for Collins, Kenyon Gooden with 8. Isaiah Cochran with 6. And Gooden, he does have 4 field goals, but boy, he worked awfully hard to get those.
I would gather if we watch the film again, then this isn't excuses. It was just the way it was called for both teams, that they let them play. And on Gooden, almost every shot that he took, there was double contact. Got bumped once, got bumped twice maybe. And, if the officials are going to call it that way, you have to adjust.
Our most outstanding players presented by Leslie Gilley, Crestwood State Farm. That's coming up. We'll also take a quick peek to the girls' state tournament. We're on the air tomorrow, although the audio version, we will talk a bit about that. And wrap things up. Been a great week here in Newcastle and Warsaw. We'll talk more about what we've seen and our observations and such, and take care of that when we come back on Glycod.
Welcome to WDRB Home Design here at Watts Home Center. Today we're talking ways to give your home a facelift. Jim, what are some updates and trends for doors this season?
The most popular door of the year so far has been this 3/4 6 light shown here as a double French door. I've sold this in this configuration, a door with side lights, a single door. People are loving the natural light this year.
In addition to doors, windows are another great way to update your home, right?
Absolutely. There's no better way to increase your home's energy efficiency than new windows. And if you're about to sell your house, nothing looks better on a property listing than new windows.
So can you and your team provide me an estimate to match my particular budget?
Absolutely. With multiple products and vendors, we can work with your budget to get your home the product it needs.
The Watts Home Center team can answer all of your window and door questions. So come on out and see them here in LaGrange or go to wattshomecenter.com to learn more.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more durability, versatility, and #1 rated reliability built in. Like Kubota compact tractors that can do it all right, Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and the Sidekick utility vehicle built for hard work and fun at 40 miles per hour. Kubota equipment lives up to the highest standards. Yours. Visit your local dealer today.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking, insurance, investments, and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
Broken, outdated electronics harm the environment when disposed with regular trash. That's why Oldham County Solid Waste is sponsoring an electronics collection event on Saturday, April 15th, 2023 from 9 a.m. to noon at Oldham County High School student parking lot. It's the perfect time to properly dispose of tube and projection style televisions, computers, smartphones, or other gadgets that you may no longer need. No restrictions on devices, every bit helps. A message from Oldham County Solid Waste. Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're watching the 8th Region Basketball Tournament from Glycod.
Let's take a look at the most outstanding players presented by Leslie Gilly of Crestwood State Farm. For Collins, we'll go with Kenyon Gooden in his final high school game. And for Woodford, yes, Jasper Johnson, but heck, you can make a case for Santonio Wade also.
Very much so. You know, we talked about how he really did a great job running the show for Woodford.
So Santonio Wade, Jasper Johnson with outstanding performances for Woodford County as the Jackets will move on again. They'll take on J-Town next Wednesday to start the boys Sweet 16. That's an 11 a.m. tip as the Jackets will take on a Chargers team that has advanced to back-to-back Sweet 16s. Male Trinity now going to double overtime while you were away. The Trinity hit a three pretty much as time expired in overtime to force 2 OTs. So after we wrap up here, kindly ask you to flip over and check out the conclusion of that. So, Gary, this will wrap up another great season of 8th Region basketball here on video, and you've been all over. You've seen so many games. Any distinguishing observations or thoughts if you had another year behind the mic?
Well, I think a little bit this year, not to take anything away from kids, but I still think, as I hear a lot from classroom teachers, we're still suffering from the time off from the pandemic. You know, and that's a couple years back, but kids weren't in school. Some cases they didn't practice some. Seasons cut short. I look for the quality of basketball to continue. And we've got a lot of really good young basketball players we've seen both in the girls and the boys programs. So I think it will continue to grow and prosper.
Best of luck to both representatives from the 8th region, Simon Kenton on the girls' side and Woodford County on the boys' side. Glycod will transition to audio beginning tomorrow night. Rick Reams will join me in Lexington for Frederick Douglass, winners of the 11th region versus North Laurel on the air starting at 8 o'clock for the opening round of the girls' Sweet 16. Thanks to all the great folks at Henry County for having us, and Derek Tingle highlighting that group, the athletic director at Henry County, for his support of our broadcast, as well as to all the great administrators that we've come across this season. Gary, another good year together. No place we'd rather be in the winter.
No, been in this gym a long time at different capacities, but what better place to be?
We will see you soon on the video side. High school football will be here before you know it, but until then, good night from Henry County High School. For Isaac Golick on camera, Gary Forrest, analyst, and our reputable and outstanding executive producer, Steve Bird. I'm Chris LeBar. Good night from Newcastle. We'll see you soon on Glycod.com.
Tonight's broadcast of the 8th Region Basketball Tournament on Glycod was presented by Roy's Body Shop in LaGrange. Collision repair for the people. Tonight's game was also brought to you by Anderson Sales and Service, a top choice for homeowners and lawn professionals. Watts Home Center, design that feels like home. Thompson Heating and Cooling, making people comfortable. LaGrange Service Center, quality car care since 1964. And State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gilley.
For schedule information about our upcoming broadcasts, visit our website, glicod.com, Facebook and Twitter @Glycod. We thank you for tuning into this live sports presentation